Good afternoon. This is Alchemistic Goldmine coming to you fresh off the deck. I had to put this idea down to tell you to share it with you all. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked, please like and subscribe to my channel, and please like this. It does help me to improve on the algorithms. I'm learning the YouTube game, so I'm learning what that is. And I would really appreciate if you would like and subscribe if you like what you're going to hear. And just like anyway, I know a lot of people are watching these videos. The last video I did, I have over 100 views, and I have only 22 likes. And I know that I must be saying something. I hope I'm saying something that will help you. It only takes a press of a. I like people and give likes all the time. I'm a YouTube watcher. And I realize it does help people. So it will help me if you like and you subscribe, because I'm going to be pulling some jewels out the bag. I'm getting ready to let it go. So I hope what I say today will help you. So what I want to talk about today is, are you a robot? What do I mean by are you a robot? Okay, a robot is something that's programmed and does what it's told to do. There's no asking a question why or what's the reason or whatever. Human beings, since we hit the ground running, we came through the chute from the cosmos, have been taught to act and perform a certain way and do certain things and whatnot. And many of the things that we're taught are logical and make a lot of sense. If you look around in the scheme of things and look the way that we relate to things, they make a lot of sense. However, there's a lot of things that we're taught and things that we do that make no logical sense whatsoever. And we do these things on a daily basis, and we do these things on a yearly basis and for our entire lifespan on this planet. But nobody ever asks the question, why? Well, some people have. So you have to ask yourself in your life, are you a robot? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why is it that you want the Audi or the Mercedes or whatever it is? Why do you want these things? Do you want them because you want them for a status symbol? Do you want them because they are a better car? Do you want them because it's something you always wanted this car, but maybe you want it just to have it, and that's fine. It's not so much what you want, and it's not so much what you're doing, but it's why you're doing it. What is your motivation? And it's nothing wrong with having any of the things that you have or the things that you're doing. But having an understanding of why you do them and what is your motivation, you will grow tremendously as a person, and it will help you to understand yourself better. And again, what are the words written on the temple wall? Know thyself. That's the main thing that you got to do. You got to know yourself, got to learn who you are, learn your strengths and weaknesses, learn what makes you tick. Why? Because when you get in certain situations, you will be able to handle yourself a particular type of way, knowing that so if I'm in a situation and I go to a restaurant and I'm eating with some friends, and they all of a sudden they pull this big strawberry shortcake out, and I know that I have a weakness to strawberry shortcake. However, I am working on a diet or whatever it is you're working on. And so you think that the strawberry shortcake will be detrimental to your diet, so you have to feign from eating the strawberry shortcake. Maybe. If you understand your relationship with that shortcake, if you understand your relationship to yourself, then you can handle the situation accordingly. Maybe you've been dieting for 6 months, and maybe you feel like you need a piece of strawberry shortcake, and that's fine. But you understand you're making the decision to do something you want to do because you're doing it, not because of your appetites, not because of something someone told you, not because they told you not to eat the cake. You don't eat the cake, or you're eating the cake because you're this you want the sugar thing, and the sugar's driving you to eat the cake. Because there's been an instance where I heard that there are bacteria in your gut that will actually influence your thinking in your brain as to what to eat. It's very, very crazy, but I've heard this and I've read about it. So one has to, in other words, have discipline in one's life and to understand oneself to the point to know what makes you do what you do. That is self-mastery. And there's an old Asian Chinese saying that goes, "He who conquers himself is the greater warrior." Why is it you watch the television programs you do? Why is nothing wrong with watching television? There's nothing wrong with doing anything in this life unless it's hurting someone. And especially if it's hurting you. There's something wrong with it in terms of you don't want to hurt anybody or hurt yourself. But what you want to understand is your motivation for doing what you're doing. If you understand why you're doing some of the things you do, it will be like someone dropped a light in the room and you're in a dark room. You'll be able to see some things, understand things about yourself that you never knew. You understand? We are robots. Human beings are robots. We are robots, and we're acting automatic. When you were younger, you up to age 7, your personality is formed. So when they tell you certain things about yourself, oh well, you're not good at this and you're not good at that, and this and that. There was a thing I did a survey among my friends, and there was a thing that they used to tell black men that they weren't good at math, and it was black men, mostly men, black men. And I found that this is true, which is preposterous because my father was a mathematical genius. He was a tested mathematical genius and an engineer. So not to say that genetics have a play on that, but my friends agree that I think that they've said that I have a very interesting way of thinking and approaching things. When I went to school and I started dealing with this business math, then my thinking changed because they put dollar signs, and my motivation for becoming a good mathematician changed. Again, one has to understand one's motivation for doing things, and one will understand the operating system of one's mind. Now, people understand the operating system of what, I don't know, we even know what they're using now, but all these complex operating systems, they can, get these algorithms and all these fantastic things, and they understand how, how to build websites and do this and that and apps and all this kind of stuff, but they don't even know what makes themselves tick. They don't even know why they're running downstairs to buy a $7, $8 damn coffee from the shop down the street. They don't even understand what makes them do that. Who's the master and who's the slave? The computer is the master and you the slave. So it's a matter of self-introspection to try to understand what motivates you. Looking at some of the, since y'all know I'm a musician. One of the things that I do, I'm a musician. But you'll find that what motivates musicians nowadays, is it likes on TikTok? Is it being an influencer, or is it because of love of the music? Now I'm not going to slam anybody who is doing it for either, but you can hear whether somebody's love is in something. You can taste the difference between grandma's cooking and somebody else's, because between grandma's chicken, even though I don't eat chicken, but grandma's chicken and Popeye's chicken, because grandma put her foot in it. What does it mean, put your foot in it? That means that you put your love in it. That means your motivation was you did it because you love your family. Whereas Popeye's motivation is they cooking it because they want to make money, and so They may put more sugar and salt in it to make it taste better, but grandma's chicken actually, in a way, does taste better because it's better for you and it's fresher and everything else. What is your motivation for doing things? There was an instance when I was younger that I decided I wasn't going to eat seafood. This is when I was, I've been vegan, but I've worked my way off of a lot of things, and I stopped eating seafood for 90 days. And on day 91, or it was around 89 and a half, one of my family members graduated from high school, and so the family got together and we went to a seafood restaurant. How about that? The universe will test you. I told you. And so I'm sitting there, and really, there's nothing to eat seafood. I'm saying to myself, you know what? I could eat a salad, but I'm in a seafood restaurant. I decided there. I said, you know what? I've done my 90 days. I'm going to make the decision to eat a piece of seafood and see what happens. I'm going to make this conscious decision to do that. I did. And to my surprise, I hated it. That was seafood. It's the hardest thing for people to get off. One of the hardest things, that and dairy. And I didn't want to eat with seafood again. And what I realized was I made the conscious decision to do that. And I was in control. The food wasn't in control. My appetite wasn't in control. I was in control. I made that decision. So, or made that choice. And there's just a difference between the choice and the decision. The choice is when you have many things to look around and you can choose what you want. A decision, the choice is already made for you. You only have 2 or 3 things to look at. So, that was one time. So the motivation, are you doing it, whatever you're doing, because of money? Robert Kiyosaki in his book said that the difference between rich people and poor people is basically the choices and decisions that they have. Basically, I'm boiling down. I'm kind of boiling that down. He didn't say it directly that, but I'm saying that. The reason rich people will take a job that pays half the amount of what another job is in order to gain experience, in order to network and gain contacts, mentors, to gain mentions, to gain knowledge, and all that kind of thing, toward whatever their purpose is or whatever it is they're trying to work on in their life. In other words, they use that job to propel them forward. Poor people make decisions based on just money alone. And what happens with a lot of people is they'll get a position or a job that pays very well, but they do something what we call, Napoleon Hill said in his book Outwitting the Devil, which you should probably pick up or look at. You can find on YouTube. Is they drift. So you drift off of your purpose based on the money that you make. We say, well, I have to pay for my family, my family, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Then you find a way to do both. Because in the long run, when you get to be 50 years old and you look down at your life and you've been with this company 20 years and you've done nothing, that you think you've done nothing with your life. You raise your children, you've done everything, and it's beautiful, right? But there's things that are inside of you that you have not developed. You will pay for it. You will pay for it. There's always a price. You will pay for it. Your psyche, you will pay for it. That's why men have midlife crisis, because they pay for it. Their passion was to be, I don't know, you wanted to open a store and you work at somebody else's store. You have to build their dream. What are you doing with your time and your energy? What choices are you making? What decisions are you making? Why are you making these choices and decisions and using your energy? The only thing you have is time. You don't have anything else but time. That's the thing that you govern. And that's the most important choice and decision you make. Robots tick along and tick-tock along as there's a book that Stuart Weil has. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but Stuart Weil, look him up. He's brilliant. And he calls it tick-tocking, where people are running around and they're looking at their watches and, I have a meeting at 4:00 and, when I made $4.4 million and I'm doing this, I've got 800 TikTok followers and I'm doing TikTok. It's interesting to use the word TikTok because he also tick-tocking. I have 800 followers, million followers on Facebook and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I'm doing the other. Right. But is that really what you want to do? Or is that something somebody told you to do? Are you dressing the way that you want to do? Or are you dressing because somebody told you to dress like that? Well, I'm going to put a little tie on, I'm going to put a suit on. They told you to do that. Why did they tell you to do that? And are you asking questions? Do you really want to dress like that? Do you really want to talk like that? Do you really want to put those shoes on with the red bottom on because somebody told you that was hip, that was cool to put the red bottom shoes on? Are you thinking about what you're doing? You know, are you going to the club because everybody goes to the club? Are you drinking this drink, you know, this alcohol because everybody drinks the alcohol? Are you doing it because you want to do it? See, if you're doing what everything everybody else is doing, you're basically a robot. You're programmed. You're doing what everybody else is doing. But if you think for yourself and do what you think will work for you, and not hurt anybody else, and not destroy the system, and not whatever, then you're doing something and moving in the right direction. Is this action that you do, is it going to move you forward in your life? You know, some of the smallest things you could do, you can make a split-second decision, and it will send your life. It's like this: if you have a missile and the missile's coming at you, right? If you move one vector, 1 degree to the left, that missile will miss you. If you went 1 degree to the right, the missile will hit you. That's the way your life is in this, in the things and the choices and decisions you make. It's very important. If you're a woman and you sleep with that man, oh, he's so beautiful and he has beautiful hair and this, oh, he's so beautiful. You sleep with that man, you get pregnant. That changes your life forever because you made the wrong decision and you don't even know why you made that decision. Oh, because it's beautiful, his beautiful hair and all this kind of, oh, he has money and he bling and all that. But you made a decision, you made a choice, and that choice sent your life spinning in another direction. Okay? You have to be very careful and know why you're doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? The thing is, and everybody wants to, you know, I'm successful and I'm this and this, but what is success? You have to define what is success for you, and don't let other people define what is success for you. Success is when you decide, I want to do this, and you do it. That's what success is. If you decide, okay, I want 1 million TikTok followers, and you follow through when you do it, and you know why you do it, you're successful. If you decide that you want to start a garden, and I want to start a garden, and I want to grow cabbage, and I want to grow spinach in that garden, and I want by next spring, and you decide to do it, and you do it, that's a success. And you know why you want to do it. I want to feed my family because I'm tired of going to the grocery store. Most people don't use this. They have the smartphone, but they ain't very smart. You got people who are not very together using a smartphone. So we have all this technology, and we ourselves are becoming the robots because we're not thinking about what we're doing. We're not making proper decisions. We don't have the judgment, the wisdom, the understanding to make. We don't use the divine understanding that we have to make the proper decisions and choices that we need to make. You think about your life. Think about everything in your life. You look in front of your life. Your life is a result of the decisions and choices that you have made. Nobody else made those decisions. You made those decisions and choices. And that's why you are where you are. You can't blame other people for your life. You have to look at your life and see this is what you built based on what you were thinking and the choices and decisions that you made. A lot of people are not going to like what I'm saying here today because a lot of people are going to be upset with me maybe because, you know, you know, like for instance, I was in the inner circle, and I remember this is a guy said, I want the Lambo. Okay, the Lambo's fine, but do you know why you want the Lambo? Because when you get that Lambo, you're going to have a chain around your neck that's going to be dragging you down the street. It could, or you could be riding in the Lambo. You're riding in the Lambo when you made the decision to get that Lambo and know why you got that Lambo. See what I'm saying? And you take responsibility for it. Why did you get it? And you dig deep. Why? Because that's a like $300,000, $400,000 car, whatever it is. You know, $100,000 minimum on a used one, $150,000. What could you do with $150,000? You could build a business. You could buy a house. You could change. You could build a farm somewhere. You can go to Paraguay and build a damn farm and live like a king in Paraguay. You know, so that's middle of nowhere, but you know what? You can make it what you want for $150,000. Okay. So why are you doing that? Are you doing it because most of the motivation of women? Okay, well, that's fine. But what kind of woman will you draw based on just having a Lamborghini? Okay, and at some point, like my dad say, you know, you look at women. Basically, they're women. It's not the container you should be interested in. It's what is inside, because eventually all these women, they start to look the same. It's going to be what is inside of them. Okay. So you make your choices based on that. Same thing with men. Are you deciding because the man looks a certain way? Oh, he looks like Idris Elba. Yeah, but what is his character? Because if he has your baby, you're going to be living with that a long time, and that character's in that baby, whether you realize it or not. I have a friend who had a son, and she was dealing with this guy, and the guy was all into drugs and everything, and the son ended up being in drugs, and the son, you know, some people living in a house, and he actually stole some things from the people in the house. He stole some jewelry from people in the house. You know, just like his father. So, again, a woman, you have to be very careful about the decisions and the men you deal with. And it's not so much even about the Pookies and the Ray Rays. It's the dudes with the money too. Because it ain't just about the money. Why do you want to do with the money? So anyway, I'm going to let you get a like and subscribe to this video. I'm going to wrap it up. My battery's getting ready to go south on me. I want to thank, you know, all of my subscribers, all the people that helped me get on here. You know, I like to thank, Soul Immortal, brother SD Booker. I like to thank all of the brothers that, brother Jerry Akeme. I got your name right this time, brother. Please, again, like and subscribe, hit the bell. And I've said my piece. So I'm going to say this. Don't slay your dragons, ride them.